Confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. You need it, I need it, we all need it. Sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't. I've been thinking about it a lot the last few days. Why is confidence such a big deal? Why do we struggle to have confidence? Man, it is mind-blowing what I found out, and I want to share it with you today. So let's get started. Let me start with the story. When I was a teenager, most of you who've been following me and following this channel, again, thank you so much for following MoloMolo Tech. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and stay tuned to the various things that we try and give and bring value to those who want to change their lives and be empowered. When I was 18 years old, or even before that, during that time, I used to stutter. Now, some of you don't know this, most of you don't, but stuttering is such a debilitating disease, psychological disease. And I couldn't hold a conversation. Not to make fun, but that's how I was. That's essentially, I was not able to hold a conversation. I was not even able to speak to girls. I don't even think I had a girlfriend until, a serious girlfriend, until, 18, 19. It was a struggle. And so I began a frustrating and yet a lifelong journey to try and express myself the best that I can, to get to understand what it means to speak different languages and to speak eloquently, read books. And we'll get into the nuances of it, but the point here is confidence is such a big thing. And confidence can affect so many areas of your life. So I want us to really break it down, and because I have a feeling that a lot of us misunderstand confidence. I think there's a misconception between confidence and courage, where one would think that just because you are courageous, you are confident, but it couldn't be so much further from the truth. One could be courageous and lack confidence and just over-exerts themselves because you lack confidence. And one could also have confidence but lack courage. And we will also go into that. But the important part right now is, where's your confidence today? How are you feeling about work? How are you feeling about your school? How are you feeling about your marriage? How are you feeling about your career? Where are you going? Your parenting? What is lacking today that is clearly attributed to a lack of confidence? And that's a question that I would like you to put on the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's carry on the conversations. So I want to really bring 3 specific points regarding confidence that I got to figure out over the years, but I got to cement a little bit over the last couple of days. Number 1 is that a lot of us think linearly as opposed to systems. What does that apply to confidence? Because confidence, like a lot of complex systems, is complex. It's not I lack confidence. It's I lack confidence within this context. Not every single one of us lack confidence in every context. In actual fact, one could argue that if you were to really analyze the context or the places where you lack or you showed a lack of confidence, usually outweigh the ones where you actually had amazing confidence, if you were to really think about it. And what I mean by it is, when you think about your conversations with your peers or with your parents or even with your siblings or with your friends, there's a certain level of confidence there that allows you to portray, to deliver, to even be funny, to even be authentic. And that is confidence. But unfortunately, whenever we are in situations where we think we have to perform, we think of confidence in a linear sense, where we deliver and we get rewarded. We give and we get. And unfortunately, it's got a lot to do with systems, meaning that confidence is something that is built over time and has a feedback and a feed forward loop. What does that mean? It means that you get within the system of confidence, of delivery, of giving information, of presenting information, but within the context that you're doing that, there's also a giving and a taking of information. And that taking of information has to be taken into account on how you deliver things. Now, I know it may sound a bit abstract, but let me give you a very good example. So you are presenting, and I remember doing that all the time, and you are presenting in front of your peers or in front of your boss, maybe at work or whatever the case may be. And without being cognizant, you don't actually realize you are getting into a hostile environment. You don't realize it, or you didn't think about it, or you didn't read the room as you started presenting. And as you present, things that are giving to you, as you give, things that you are receiving, is body language or lack thereof, is lack of enthusiasm. People look at their phones. People look outside. People look disinterested. People look at their laptop. People look at your slide once in a while and then look back on the laptop. All of that cringes the confidence. Why? Because your thought about what you needed to be doing, your expectation is that people will be gripped to what you're saying. And that has been taken away. And during that moment, your confidence saps because you are now wondering the question, how do I do something that I did not prepare for? How do I engage when I did not prepare to engage in this manner? And that's where confidence gets hit. And often the comment of, yeah, that's enough. Thank you so much. I don't think you got what we wanted, but maybe next time. And that confidence saps and that confidence hits. That's what I mean by giving and taking, not understanding that it's a system and not just a linear in transaction. Now, this is for me something that I've started learning, which in other words, read the room, right? There's another way of saying it, which is read the room, but it's more than that. It's understanding that the ins and outs, the ebbs and flows that either builds or saps confidence. Number two, that I've come to understand is you've got to learn that confidence is not just about information, but it's about people. You've got to study people, not just the information. This is such a big point for engineers and technical professionals, those who value their knowledge and those who value their technical ability. Confidence is about people. Why? Because you are sharing information to who? To people. And people are people, which means that they behave a certain way and they are complex in their own way. And if you are not a student of people, body language, feedback, lack of feedback, the ins and outs. Are they a morning person? Are they an evening person? Do they crack under pressure? Do they thrive under pressure? Do they like open comments? Do they want to be engaged or be left alone? All these things play a part in either you being building confidence or you being sapped confidence away from you. Learn to study people. I know some of you who are watching this, you're thinking, oh, people are so boring and I don't like people. And it's just, why in the world do I have to do this in front of people? But unfortunately, it is what it is. And when we think about people, we also need to remember we talk about our families, the ability to bring a message to your family, to have families come together. If you're a husband or if you're a wife or if you are a business partner, whatever the case may be, the ability to bring ideas together requires confidence, requires an ability to deliver, ability to project, an ability to give a certain coherent message. And that requires a study of people. You've got to learn to study people. Number three, and I think this is probably the last one that kind of cements it all, is that you have to let go of your ego and learn the other person's ego. Let your ego at the door and take on the ego of someone else. Why? it's also, again, the undertone is reading the room, but it's trying to make it clear that what you believe, what you expect, what you would like, who you are, what you value does not matter when it comes to building confidence. What matters is the person who you are interacting with. Are you building them up? Are you answering their need? Are you connecting with them? Are you sympathetic? Are you able to understand what they're truly asking? Are you listening before talking? All those aspects is about them, their ego, what they want, not what you want, what they want. And because of that, your ability to let your ego at the door and take on the ego in the room is the very thing, counterintuitively, that will build your ego at the door when you leave the room. That is such an amazing concept, and it brings such a refreshing thought to, hopefully, to some of you, and to me at least, is that, man, I don't have to worry about what I think. I have to worry about what people think. I can leave my complicated thoughts at the door. I can just take on the issues and concerns in the room. And for me, that is a revelation that I'm using a lot now, especially in business. You have to learn the need of your customer. You have to learn the need of the market, and it's not about your ego. And so business is very good in helping us as technical professionals to really understand and really just, get shaped by it. And that's my message to all of you. And I want to summarize it into a very interesting study called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which essentially says that oftentimes, it's about really reading the room too, but it's also about checking yourself, is confidence or an overexertion of confidence or a lack of confidence is usually shown through someone who is not as competent, yet over projects themselves to make themselves look competent, and in so doing overestimates what they know. And at the same time, it also shows up, a lack of confidence also shows up in those who are super competent but tries to fit in, and in so doing underestimate what they know. And both can coexist and show a lack of confidence. Both of them. One is very aggressive, the other one is very dismissive and very apologetic. Both is a concept of lack of confidence. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much again for watching. If you want to know more about confidence, how to be able to tackle it, we have a course that we run literally on a one-on-one, whenever you are ready, whenever at your pace. It's called the Technical Communication Course for Technical Professionals. Just there will be a link when it comes to this video. Hopefully you get to learn a few things. We will walk through different challenges together, and hopefully you'll get to be a better self, an empowered self, so that you're able to definitely reach your full potential. I'm Dr. PK. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Ciao.